I didn't think of Forrest Whitaker. Right? Because I got Forrest Whitaker. I know I got him. And as long as I don't take my shirt off, I think I can get Wesley Snipes. Wesley Snipes got them abs. I only got like a one pack. But I think that if I would have thought of them, maybe I would have, in my head, I thought I would have had a chance, but I didn't think of them. I thought of Denzel Washington. And so I got depressed again because, man, I couldn't be an actor. I couldn't be a movie star. It's very important. Very important right here. I couldn't be an athlete. And I couldn't be a movie star. So I got depressed because I didn't think that now I'm able to get a lot of people in my funeral. Then my mind went back to Rosa Parks. And here it was, this lady, she did one thing. She refused to give up her seat on the bus. And that one act have repercussions that we feel all the way up to today. Think about that. That one act. And so in my head I thought, well, man, wait a minute, Desmond, maybe if you could take that, all of that pain and that suffering and that low self-esteem and that misery, all those things that led you to the railroad tracks, that made you want to jump in front of a train, if you could somehow take it and use it in such a way to where you could prevent other people from having to go to the railroad tracks, then maybe they can help other people, and those people can help other people, and before you know it, there'll be a whole bunch of people that will probably say, man, if it wasn't for Desmond helping such and such, he wouldn't have been able to help me in my life would not have been changed. Now, Joe Robbie Stadium holds a whole lot of people. About 70,000? So I had a lot of work to do. And I didn't even have a clue where to start. I really didn't. But it just so happened that one day I was in a meeting, a group meeting, and we were sharing stories and sharing, our thoughts about our drug addiction. And apparently I said something because a gentleman came and he approached me after the meeting and told me that I had said something that caused him to have what they call a paradigm shift. That I said something that caused him to look at life differently, to approach life differently. And now, rather than having a gloomy outlook in life, he have a more positive outlook in life, and he understands that he can succeed, right? Now, when he told me this, something happened inside of me. And at the time, I didn't know what it was, but all I knew was that it was a joy that I was feeling inside of me that I had never, ever experienced before in my entire life. And it felt good. It felt real good. It felt so good, I became addicted to it. I can tell you today that what that feeling was that I felt, right, it was a joy that, check it out now, that I was searching for all of my life and didn't even know I was searching for. And you know what that joy is? That joy was discovering what God's purpose for me was. That's what it was. Sometimes I used to wonder, why am I here? What is in store for me? What am I supposed to do? What's the purpose of my life? And I discovered it that day. And it was very simple. It's a purpose that's inside each and every one of you all. And basically what it is that when you look at everything that God created, when you look at the trees, when you look at the grass, even when you look at the bees and the mosquitoes and the fishes, everything takes a little and gives a little. And so that purpose is that if you have been given life, if you have been given an opportunity to be a part of such a distinguished organization as the Kappa League, then your purpose is to take some of that and give it back. Help someone else. Because there's someone at your school, maybe even your own home or your neighborhood, that may not have had the privilege or the opportunity to get what you're getting. There may be someone in your home, in your neighborhood, or in your school that is worse off than you are. And whatever little you get, it allows you to help someone else less fortunate. And that's what I discovered. And when I did that, guess what was revealed to me? I didn't need to get through. Because all of the pain and suffering that I went through for all those years, while I was homeless, when I was in prison, when I was hooked on drugs, all of that became worthwhile when I was able to save one life. All of that made my time on earth worthwhile. One life. One of the stories I want to share with you before I close is they call it the Far East, the Middle East, in the Middle East, where you find Israel, and Egypt, and like Pakistan and those countries there. There are two major bodies of water that's in that area, region. One of the bodies of water is called the Sea of Galilee. And the other one is called the Dead Sea. Now, the Sea of Galilee is a body of water that's vibrant and full of life. And people go and fish there. People hang out at the beach, almost like going to Daytona Beach. They go jet skiing, all kinds of good stuff, right? At the Sea of Galilee. But the Dead Sea is like the exact opposite. It's dead, it's void of life. Now, these two bodies of water get their nutrients from the same source, from the very same source. And so the question that was presented to me years ago about this was, how could it be that these two bodies of water that get their nutrients from the same source be so drastically different? One vibrant and full of life, while the other one is dead and void of life. How could it be that these two bodies of water that get their blessings from the same source are so opposite? Very simple answer. You see, the Sea of Galilee have what you call tributaries. So that means that whatever it gets, whatever nutrients it gets, it passes on to other bodies of water via rivers and streams and channels. While the Dead Sea is what we call self-enclosed. So everything it gets, it holds on to. And because it holds on to everything it gets, it ended up becoming oversaturated, and it killed itself from within. Now, I tell that story because that is so indicative of life. Because so many times you may see someone who may appear to have more than you. They may appear to have the nice car and the homes, and they driving their own car to school, and they have the best clothes. Look like they got it going on, right? But on the inside, guess what? There's no love in it. There's hate, there's pain, there's suffering, there's misery. While you can see someone else who don't appear to have anything. Might be wearing what we call bobos at school. Y'all remember bobos? They cost $1.49. They make your feet feel fine. You might see someone that might be wearing some messed up kicks, or that might have to wear the same shirt maybe twice a week. But on the inside, they're full of joy and love, and they're fun to be around. We are like those bodies of water. If you try to hold on to everything that you get while you're in this program, and you try to keep it all to yourself, you end up killing yourself from within. Yeah, you might go and get the good job, and you might go and get the good car, and you might go and get the nice wife. But eventually, you will oversaturate yourself. And you will kill yourself from within. And you won't be happy. The key to happiness and that success that my brothers are driving you to achieve is one part knowledge and instruction and mentoring, but the other part is giving back. How could you be of service to someone else? And as long as you keep giving back what you're receiving, your life will continue to be vibrant. And you will continue to make a difference, whether you know it or not only in your home, in your community, in your state, and even in your country. Each and every one of you all have that power. You know how I know you have it? Because you have hope. And you got the Kappas. Let me tell you something. I tell people this. When I was standing at those tracks and somebody would have said, Desmond, don't jump in front of a train because in 4 years you're going to meet the President of the United States not once but twice, and you're going to sit on boards with mayors and councilmen, and you're going to be in committees with governors and attorney generals. You're going to lead 2 or 3 great organizations. You're going to be before Congress and the United Nations and all kinds of this crazy stuff. If somebody would have told me in 4 years I'd have been doing all of that, you know the first question I would ask them? Y'all know? Where did you get that good dope they smoking? That would have been the first question. I would have probably put them in a headlock and they'd have to take me to that dope. For real. Because there was no way you could have me believe that a dope addict like me with nothing on the verge of taking my own life in 4 years would accomplish that. And I say that because I started from a place where there was no hope. And look where I'm at now. You're starting at a much better place. So everything that I've done, you could do 100 times more. Instead of talking about, oh, I met the president, you could be the president.
Yes.
Each and every one of you. Each and every one of you have that potential. But you feed that potential by giving back. I promise you, if you do, you'll not only make this world a better place, but you'll be a much better person because of it. And if and when that day comes, to where maybe your life will get cut short, at least you'll die knowing that you made a difference while you was here. That young man had a church full of people who stood up and talked about the impact that he had on their life, and he was only 25. I can't promise you that you all going to live to be old men. But what I can promise you, if you put your all into this program, that when you do die, it's going to be with a purpose. And you're going to leave something behind that will last for eternity. When you get inducted today, understand that you're taking this to the next level. You're going to make a difference. Thank you.